Okay guys, we're back. We're gonna do another uh, training session. Throttle management. Okay. Well, you saw previously I had to work the throttle to get on the ground because I just had it full blast. This second landing tutorial will focus on throttle management. Throttle adjustments will allow you to manage the aircraft's glide path on the final approach without having to rely on the elevator. Even if you are focusing on a throttle, do not hesitate to make small corrections with the yoke to stay aligned with the runway. Alright, here we go. It's gonna be... Oh, let me get the shift key going here.
In the first part of this landing exercise, I want you to stay on the glide path by using the throttle. You can make small corrections with the yoke to stay aligned with the runway. Smooth action on the throttle is key for remaining on the correct glide path. If you find yourself too high, reduce your power. If you're too low, increase it. Remember though, always make soft corrections. You don't want to overcompensate. Now you can use the elevator to land.
Are you sure? Because... okay.
500.
Oof. It wasn't allowing me to do anything. So before, we landed at 65 knots. Here, she's got us at 84 knots.
Reduce throttle to idle.
It is at idle.
Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it. Nice. Now, apply the brakes to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
And we stopped.
That was excellent.
Thank you. Okay. Landing again, huh? Okay. Overview. What goes up must come down. In this training session, you'll focus on the key techniques for successful landings. Manage speed and glide path on the final approach. Flare the aircraft to touch down smoothly. Brake after landing to end the flight safely. Isn't that... okay. I think that's just what we did, but... whatever. Maybe she's not going to talk to us this time.
My first instructor used to say, the best part of flying is landing in one piece. Today,
That's actually
you're in
funny.
charge of bringing us in for a safe landing.
Okay.
And I've already set us up in landing configuration at 65 knots with 20 degrees of flaps.
Are you? Because that says 80.
Keep your aim point on the runway threshold. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare.
Okay, 65 knots. I think she may have had our flaps set, but I have, you know, my flaps switch in here, so I think it was overriding hers. So those pappy lights there should be 2 red and 2 white, but this whole time I haven't seen them work at all. I like that you can see it through
Reduce
the
throttle to
PFD.
idle.
You're idle.
Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Got you.
Nice. Now, apply the brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
We don't
Use
really.
rudder pedals to stay on the center line. You did well, but you can do better.
Really?
Keep in mind that approaching the runway at the right speed is key to a good landing.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'll take it. Still got a B. I'm okay with a B. By not stopping fast enough for her, you don't want to jam the brakes. Weird. Okay. Downwind. Overview. This training session covers the procedures to be performed while flying on a left-hand traffic pattern. From the downwind leg, the final approach. Traffic patterns, also called circuits, are paths to be followed on takeoff and landing, allowing air traffic to move in and out of airports safely. Each part of the pattern is referred to as a leg.
Okay, we're currently flying wind leg at the standard traffic pattern altitude of 6,000 feet.
Okay.
It's a flight path parallel to the landing runway, but in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
In downwind, you want to start preparing for landing. That means setting your speed and flaps configuration. We are passing the end of the runway, so go ahead and reduce RPM to 1700. It will help you to slow you down to 80 knots and begin your descent. The flaps provide extra lift at the expense of additional drag. This extra lift allows flying at a lower airspeed. Flaps allow for smoother and shorter landings. Go ahead and extend 10 degrees of flaps, all while maintaining current speed. We will turn to the base leg when the end of the runway is at a 45-degree angle behind us.
Okay. Beautiful.
Turn left onto the base leg.
Pretty close to that rock there. Okay.
Try to keep our speed around 75 knots. Keep an eye on the runway as we get ready for our final turn. Turn left onto final. Make your left turn onto final.
I am.
Keep a stabilized approach with 65 knots airspeed and prepare for landing. Use throttle and flaps as required to adjust the glide slope.
$100. Throttle to idle. Center line. Go back.
Apply the brakes and stop the plane.
Okay. But then babies are. The brakes let go. Cool.
That was a perfect traffic pattern execution.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Looks like we got through almost everything. First solo flight here, it says. So, time to fly on our own. Overview. You've trained for this. Now it's time to show off your skills. Channel your aviation know-how and complete a standard traffic pattern without any assistance from your instructor. Stay relaxed, operate your aircraft safely, and enjoy your flights. Okay? Alright, I'm bending down funny. The keyboard's on the floor, and I want to be able to get my gauges up.
It's time. Your first solo flight. I'll be watching from the ground, in radio contact if you need me, but something tells me you won't. Your goal is to complete Sedona's left-hand traffic pattern on your own. Remember everything we covered in our previous sessions, and you'll be just fine. Good luck. See you on the other side.
Okay, here we go. Fuel flow's in the green, gauges in the green. Taking off. Down the center line. Speed is alive. 30. 40. 50. 55, rotate. Why are you showing me that? Okay, I'll climb right around 75 knots, so we'll drop this a little bit. $75 knots, we need 5,300 feet. Okay. Where do we turn in? Okay. Turn downwind. Okay, there's a runway. $6,000 feet. 75 knots. There's 6,000 feet. Oh, no. That's throttle is so super touchy. Just barely touching it is setting it off. Bank and yank, baby, bank and
Short final runway 2. 500.
okay. Gas on both undercarriage is fixed, mixture's full, rich props are full forward. Seatbelts are fastened and locked. Oh, I was gonna cry. Okay, runway's made, power is out. Let's land up. Across ground tissue. Let's stop flying. Are those brakes back? Ailerons all the way back. And full stop.
You did well, but you can do better.
That's rude.
You're on your way to becoming one hell of a pilot.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Alright, I think the next step after this, unless more comes up, is taking the exam. You seem way more than ready. Right? So next time we come back, we will take the exam.